Hey, what's up? I'm Ashley. Thank you for watching this video. And today, we're going to be talking about Cruel Summer, Season 2, Episode 2. And we're going to start things off in the summer of 1999, where we see Isabella is writing a letter to her boarding school friend Lisa, where she's telling her that people in that town look at her like she's some kind of exotic creature from another planet, and for some reason I'm thinking that Lisa is dead. After that, we see Isabella in the kitchen with Megan's sister and her mom, and Megan's mom Debbie is trying to teach Isabella how to crack an egg, but when Isabella tried, the egg went right on the floor. Some important things that I feel like we need to pay attention to during this conversation is that Isabella said that her parents are always working, and she was telling Megan's sister that your friends in boarding school become your family, but then right before that she said she doesn't have a lot of friends. And when Megan's sister pointed out that Isabella and Megan weren't friends, Isabella was like, I'll crack it sooner or later, just like she couldn't crack that egg, right? And I feel like Isabella always tries to make people like her when they usually don't at first. Because during this timeline, I feel like the only person that really likes her is Luke. So I feel like we're going to catch Isabella in some lies sometime really soon. Then we see Isabella snooping around Megan's room, and she accidentally turns on Megan's computer. If she looked interested, like she was going to check it out, but then changed her mind, then she noticed that Megan left her wallet. I think it was a wallet. It looked like it. So she picked it up, and we saw that she took it to Megan at her job trying to be nice. When she gets there, Luke is there too, and she ends up talking Luke into throwing a pool party at his house. And it didn't take too much convincing. He was like, yeah, sure. So when they're at the party, Isabella and Luke are flirting the whole time. There was a point where Isabella asked Luke to put in a good word for her with Megan, and he's like, already done. Say less. I've only been saying good things about you to her. And he points out that Megan doesn't really let new people into her life. So Brent, who's Luke's brother, and Isabella were talking at the party, and the conversation wasn't going too good to a point where Brent told Isabella, I thought European girls were supposed to be more open-minded, and Isabella tells him, I'm not European, but I am open-minded. So I feel like that's something that we may need to remember. But why was Parker such a hater? All Isabella was trying to do was look at the CD book, and then here she go getting up. You can't look at that. First of all, shut up before I throw this whole book at you. We had a part where Megan gave Isabella her bag to hold on to, and Isabella ended up spilling a drink on it. So when she was trying to wipe it off, she saw that Megan had these pills in her bag. So I feel like when Luke put in another good word about Isabella to Megan and told her to loosen up and give Isabella a chance, it worked, and she listened to him, because when Megan and Isabella were together in the hot tub right after that, Megan didn't get all mad and upset when Isabella brought up that she found the pills in her bag. Instead, she listened to her, and I think she's gonna believe her when Isabella was telling her that she don't gotta worry about her telling anybody, her secret is safe with her. But Megan is saying the only reason why she takes the pills in the first place is because it helps her concentrate more with school. But I guess we'll find out if that's the truth and nothing but the truth a little later on. But as soon as Isabella got out that hot tub, she went right on over there with Luke, got in the pool, and started making out right in front of Megan. Megan saw the whole thing, and she's just staring at them the whole time like a little creep, like she wanted to get in there too. Well, get in there then. But I just want to point this out because look at how much Megan wasn't messing with Isabella. She got her standing there looking like a fool. She didn't even glance at her. So I need to know how they became best friends by the time we got to winter of 1999. And that's where we're going to move on to right now. And this whole timeline is about them trying to figure out who recorded them, who made the tape, and who played it at the party. But the whole town is against Isabella. They mad at her. They think that she's the one on the tape. And they did the most too. Blew up a whole blow-up doll and wrote, "Go home, slut," on it. And by seeing Megan's reaction, they had us thinking that it was Megan on the tape too. But it turns out the only reason why Megan made that big old scene and was running out the party crying is because she was mad that the tape was made in the first place and it was played at the party. Because Megan is the one on the tape with Luke, it's not Isabella. And I'm confused on why the town just assumed that it was Isabella in the first place. I'm just confused on how they automatically assumed that. So before we find out though that Megan was the one on the tape, we see her looking at the tape. And I'm like, girl, why you want to rewatch that for? Why you want to look at Isabella and Luke together repeatedly? She's like, no, I want to watch it again, when Isabella told her to turn it off. And I'm like, again? But then she turns over and we see that it's Megan. Megan is the slut. The blow-up doll should be made for her. The town should be mad at her. And she is the one that should be getting chewed out by her mama, not Isabella. Isabella in the kitchen getting chewed out by Debbie for being the town slut. Meanwhile, it's her own daughter. But she was in there telling Isabella that she had to beg the principal not to kick her out of school. And I'm like, dang, can't get one in? And just because it was on tape, she's the victim. Find out who did it and get them in trouble. Not her. That town is backwards. And nobody should be getting called a slut here. They over there acting like they ain't never did it. But Isabella is telling Megan that she'll take the fall for this because she's the one that's going to leave in a few months. So she'll rather have people thinking that it's her on the tape instead of finding out that it's Megan. So they go outside and they burn the tape. And they're also trying to figure out if there's more tapes. So Luke, Isabella, and Megan are going back and forth and they're trying to figure out who was the one that recorded them in the first place. And they're throwing out their theories. They think it could be Brent. They think it could be Jeff since he's always carrying around a video camera. But Luke is mainly worried about being crucified. He's worried about what his father is going to think because he thinks that his father is always on Brent's side no matter what Luke says, even if it's right. So since they're worried about it possibly being more tapes, Isabella goes over to Luke's and Brent's house to find out if there's more tapes. And when she gets there, Parker is there too. They can't find their way inside the house. They can't find the extra key. So Isabella picks up a vase and throws it and breaks the glass door. And when they get inside, they destroy all of the tapes except the ones that has Luke's and Brent's mother in them because she passed away. But the only reason why Parker was there is because she thought that maybe she could be on a tape too because Brent mentioned it to her at one point. He was trying to get her to be on the tape, but she said no. And since they broke up, she's not really trusting what he said. And after Brent and Lucas gets yelled at by their dad because someone broke inside of the house for those tapes, Brent did confess to Luke that he was the one who made the tape, but he wasn't the one who played it at the party. So who did then? And why are you making a tape with your brother in it? That's nasty. But for some reason, Luke doesn't believe that Brent knows that it was Megan on the tape. Luke told Megan that Brent stopped watching the tape once he saw that he was on it. And that don't make no sense. Because how do you make a tape and not know who's on the tape? Now we're in the summer of 2000. And Isabella is telling Megan that people are going to start talking. You can't keep giving me the cold shoulder because Megan's not even looking at her. She just got up and walked away. When Debbie, Megan, and her sister and Isabella go over to Brent's house looking for his dad, Steve, they see that he isn't there. Brent tells them that he's down at the station because they don't think Luke just drowned. They think he was murdered. And once Isabella found this out, she was telling Parker that she got to get out of there. She's going to Paris. I feel like it's a habit with her running away from things, but Parker's telling her, hold up, girl. You can't go nowhere right now because the sheriff is calling all of us back down to the station and he's going to interview us again. And I also find it interesting that these two are friends now too. What went on that we haven't seen yet? But Isabella was telling Megan that she's leaving town on Tuesday. She about to get out of there. But Megan's like, no, you not. No, you are not. If you want me to keep my mouth shut, you gonna stay here. Just what is she keeping her mouth shut about? But we see the sheriff interviewing all these people again, except for Megan, but we do see him question Isabella. And Debbie is right there with her since she is her guardian for right now. So the sheriff gets right into it and we find out that Isabella dated Luke and she also dated Megan. And I said, there you go. I figured something like that was going on when I saw the first episode. I said, is Megan looking at Luke or is she looking at Isabella? He was also telling her that when they first found out that Luke disappeared, she was ready to up and leave. She had her plane ticket ready. But Isabella saying that the reason why she stayed is because Debbie got sick. We find out that Isabella went to 3 different schools in 3 years. It was funny when Debbie was about to get up and leave. She was out of there. She had enough of that. Isabella was like, sit down. I got this. And Debbie sat right back down. But once he said that and told her that he's noticing a pattern with her, she was ready to leave then. So she gets up and she tells him that she's not saying anything else unless she has her lawyer with her. So the police is shook. They're like, a lawyer? Why would a 17-year-old know how to ask for a lawyer? It's common sense, but the sheriff was like, it's because she's had to ask for one before. After that, we see Isabella go inside of the cabinet and she flushes these blue pills down the toilet. And I wonder if these were the same pills that were in Luke's system, because they said that before Luke died, he was given some muscle relaxers, like some kind of a sleeping pill, to make sure that once they threw him in the water, he wasn't going to be able to swim back up. They're saying he was murdered because of that and because he had a bullet wound on his ear, and it's making me wonder if that bullet wound came from that same gun that we saw in episode 1 when Megan and Luke were standing outside watching that man shoot up in the air. So after she flushes them down the toilet and steps on the whole container and picks it up with a napkin, did y'all peep that? She calls her mom and tells her that she needs her help. And her mom didn't even have an accent. They've been traveling all around the world, and her mom sounds like she has an American accent. So what's really going on? Isabella doesn't have one either, and she keeps saying that her and her family haven't spent a lot of time in the U.S. So they lying. Somebody lying, and I need to know why, what, when, where, and because of what. But y'all let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comments so we can talk about it. And if you haven't already and want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.